Okay, so we're recording. So hi, my name is Hilary Griffin, and I am an Emerald leader with It Works Global. And I'm super pumped to be sharing tonight about confidence. And um, I'm trying to think. I'm a mom of two girls, and I am actually somebody who does this full time. So I just want you guys to like keep that in mind whenever you hear maybe me share about how I view the business. I come from that type of perspective. So I'll be 32 next month. So anyway, so that just kind of tells you guys like I'm a mom. I do this from home. I'm 32 years old. I plan on going double diamond by the end of March this year. So that's just like a little bit about me. And Morgan's going to introduce herself really quick and then we'll dive in.
Okay, there we go. I didn't mute myself because I was typing. Okay, hello, I am Morgan Pickering. I don't even know like different stuff to say. I'm 23 and I'm from Houston. I got started in this, oh gosh, there's that hair on my face. I got started in this business when I was in college. I was a full-time college student and I was working. I was in a sorority, super busy, like did not have time for anything else. I went to school out of state, so I was still trying to juggle traveling to see my family back here in Texas. And I just saw this opportunity on Instagram and I was like, you know what? It's risk-free. I might as well give it a shot. There's really nothing to lose and I'm on my phone anyway, so might as well just see where it can go. I knew nothing about the business. I had never tried a product. I didn't even know work like this existed or like it was legit. But I joined and I went running and earned bonuses and just amazing things. My journey is like kind of crazy in a nutshell, but that's like the newer part of my journey getting started. So yeah, I'm also an Emerald. We'll be going Diamond this month, going VIP by the end of the year, just crazy stuff. My girls are on here. All of y'all are going Diamond ASAP. Y'all know that. So I'm super excited. And but yeah, I also do this full time. But when I started, I didn't do this full time. So I get both aspects of it of having a super busy schedule, but also starting to do this full time. And trust me, there's different balances of things because when you are super busy, you have to figure out that. But then when you're also doing this full time, you can't get in that habit of always saying, oh, well, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Because then it's like nighttime and it's like, oh, I wasted a day, you know? So, it definitely helps on those aspects of different lifestyles and stuff. I mean, I'm not a mom, so I am not good in that area. I have a dog and that's about it at this point. But, so yeah, that is basically me in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So, one thing that is a really like cool thing about Morgan and I is that we are accountability partners. So, if you don't have an accountability partner and you are looking for one, there could be one on your team or there could be somebody on my team that you guys would meet throughout like trainings and stuff together, that it would be really beneficial to you to just have somebody that you check in with, that you encourage and stuff. So Morgan and I have, for one, we have like a year's, gaps between us. But we work this business like kind of different, but kind of one and the same. The basics are the basics. That's what's going to help you guys be successful. And by this point, we have either shared with you what we know works and like the blueprint of all of that, or you're in the gist of like running right now and you're like learning as you go and all of that good stuff. And so something though that happens, whether you're somebody like me, I have a past in marketing. I've been doing social media marketing for the past like 6 years, and I had a ton of experience in that. But then I switched over into this business and it's completely different when it comes to marketing. I know the basics of things, I know how social media works, but marketing and the way that we do with this type of business is really different. And then I know like for Morgan, she didn't know that this is the type of business you could do from your phone or from anything. Maybe we just both kind of knew of like parties and stuff like that. So we both have been at a place where we were new or where we were like fairly kind of familiar with things, and we didn't have confidence because we were like, okay, like, how can I be confident about something that I know nothing about? So that's something where I want to start with tonight. If you're joining us, you're knowing that tonight we're talking about confidence and we're talking about mindset. And sorry, I just need like a switch of view on my computer. There we go. It's a little bit better. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry, just real quick. Before she does start, we want y'all to be very like active with us as we're talking. So just FYI, make sure that you can access the chat. If you're on your computer, it's at the bottom. If you're on your phone, I think you have to like swipe one way. Because we'll be asking y'all to put stuff in there, feedback, all that type of stuff. So make sure your chat is working. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let me see. There we go. Okay. Yes, I've definitely like, that was something that Morgan and we've been doing these trainings together for a little bit now. And I was like, man, we need to talk. And she was like, I agree. Like, it would be just so helpful for us to know how to lead you guys well if you talk back. And so don't feel weird. Like, we're a hot mess. I rarely have makeup on. Like, don't feel like awkward to talk to us tonight. Just know that like we're totally open to any questions that you guys have. Hey, Christina. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so the first point that we're going to talk about is, what does it look like to be confident in the business? Or wait, are you raising your hand? Sorry.
Yes.
Hold on.
Oh wait, I think you're muted. Hold on.
What's up?
How do we chat?
Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, I think if you swipe like left or something, or maybe you have to like touch it, and there should be an option at the bottom.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Christina, can you type in the chat really quick how you're doing it from your phone?
I figured it out.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so, okay, so what does it look like to be confident in the business? So here's one thing. If you haven't yet, there are some amazing top leaders in this company. What that means is that they're people who they have hit certain ranks. They have taken in certain amounts of volume and stuff like that. And so there are people who have started in places where they probably didn't have very much like confidence either. Okay. And you would assume, oh, I bet they've always like felt good about this business, that they knew what they were doing. They hit the top because they knew the things. But I can tell you guys, actually, our number one team in the company is Stephanie and Joel Dunn. Now, their story, just like a tidbit of that, is that Stephanie actually was not in she was not in for the idea of doing a network marketing company. That was not really like her thing. Joel is the one that was like, girl, those products work. We're about to be millionaires. He had the confidence for her, but she's the one that hustles, and her hustle took away the fears that she had and helped her be successful, because the confidence in the company and the stuff she didn't know yet, all of that ended up coming. So if the number one team in the company can start off from that type of place of not really feeling secure about all of it and not knowing what to think and really being kind of against it from the get-go, if they can be in the company, I think they've been in like 11 years or something, they can be in for that long and not start off in the most confident way, then that tells all of us, if we want ambassador, if we want top, then like we truly do have it in us. We actually have all that we need to do that. So it's really a rare thing that somebody would join and they would be fully confident to run and go do this thing. Honestly, the only people I've ever seen like that in this company have been people who maybe they were in a different company and they hit a high rank, and for whatever reason, their company didn't last, and they moved over to ours later on, and they already had their feet wet in this industry. So normally what happens is it's not that you have a fear or a lack of confidence in our company, but you're just starting something completely brand new. And some people have just a little bit more experience. And so the thing is to not compare, but be inspired. If you catch yourself comparing to any of the leaders, any of the different people that you follow, even with me and Morgan, we would ask you to not compare, but be inspired and see that behind the scenes, we wrestle with fear. We wrestle with confidence. We're always being stretched and growing in those things. Okay. So here's the thing about our company. Now, if you have the Connect app, or if you have, access to your eSuite, which you should, or if you can just get on YouTube, there's so many different places where you can go and you can find the facts about our company. So I'm not going to dive into all of those. Those are resources out there for you to be able to find all the facts. But I am going to tell you that this company has been around for, I would say it's close to 20 years, if not 20 years yet. They have a great reputation. Our company, they dot all the I's, they cross all the T's. So if you don't know how to be confident about a company like this, find some facts and you can say, you know what, here's the truth. The truth is this company produces more millionaires than majority of the other network marketing companies out there. Like, I'm not knocking any other ones. I'm just saying a fact is a fact. So be confident in that. Be confident in, you can go to Pinterest and go to the It Works Pinterest account, and you can see hundreds upon hundreds of results pictures. So there you go, right there. We know the business model works and we know the products work. So if you don't have your own confidence yet, be confident in the facts. Be confident in what truth is. And just a side note, when it comes to the personal side of it, be confident in knowing that Morgan and I both have prayed you into our business. If you were watching this video and you joined with either of us or someone in our team, in our organization, you have been prayed into this business. Be confident in knowing that we have prayed for you by name. Like, we have prayed over the place that you have taken up within this beautiful spot on our team. Like, you belong here. You were meant to be here. I don't care what the season looks like. I don't care what happens over the next 30 days to 90 days. You were meant to be here. So be confident in knowing that we take our business very serious, but at the same time, there's a lot of relational stuff here. It's not all business for us. We believe that we are called to help other women and even men that join our team later on, just families in general. We know that we're called to not only make an income for ourselves, but that we are called to your why, like your kids. I know, like for me, Christina, she has a little girl, Zoe. Part of my why is making sure that sweet little Zoe gets the things that she needs. Okay. So just when you're lacking in confidence, you know the truth about the company and the facts about them and the successes. And then you also know that whenever it comes to us and your leadership, if you can trust us, believe that we do believe in you. Okay. The next thing is going to be find some top leaders. So whenever it comes to, okay, I'm trying to get some confidence going and stuff like that, you can find like a few top leaders. Like I said, if you catch yourself comparing, I'm going to suggest, until you get to a place that Morgan's going to talk about in a little bit when it comes to mindset, until you've worked on some mindset things and self-development, if you catch yourself comparing too much, more than you're being inspired, then I recommend don't follow them. Find somebody who you truly are inspired by, because there are some people, even for me, that I could catch myself comparing myself to, and I'm like, nope, I have to unfollow them. But I have followed some top leaders who honestly, like, they live a life that I could only dream of, but I truly am inspired. One specifically is Sherry Lynn Alcala. Her and her husband make a great team. He has his thing that he does. She has her thing, and that's the business, and she's a writer. But she also has two little girls who are about the same age gap between them as my girls. And I'm inspired by what she's been able to do for them through this business. So find some people to be inspired by. If you need names, in, you know, Instagram accounts and stuff, just ask me and Morgan, ask whoever enrolled you, and we'll let you know, like, hey, here's some good people to start with. Okay, so I want you guys to talk back to me now. So in the chat, I want you to tell me on a level from 1 to 10, and 1 is going to be the lowest, how confident are you right now when it comes to the business? And don't feel like we're going to get on to you, because we're not. It's just a measurement of knowing how we should talk tonight. We're just all having a conversation. So right now, from 1 to 10, where are you at? And as you guys are answering that for me, I'm going to wait on the chat to rev up some. But as you guys are answering that, I'm going to let you know just some personal things that I do. So there are some times when my confidence level kind of goes bloop, because I see people booming, I see people enrolling, and I'm like, why not me? Like, what is going on here? And here's some things that I do just to help me get out of that little like dip. I call it a dip because I refuse to allow my why, which is my girls, my family, having options for us. I refuse to allow that stuff to go into a ditch. Okay, so what I do is I do some things that Morgan's going to talk about in a little bit with mindset. I do some mindset stuff, personal development stuff, and then I go and I try to figure out how can I help. Yes, how can I help someone in my business? How can I help them today? If I help somebody else get a win, then that automatically helps me. Now, if you don't have a team yet, here's what I'm going to say. Who in your current following, who out of your family members, who out of your friends list, like who out of those people can you maybe just encourage? I've actually always been this way. That's something I've always done. So I've done the things that Morgan's going to mention, but the little additional stuff is I always try to find somebody that I can speak some life into, that I can encourage, because through encouraging them, I know my worth is not found in how many enrollments I got that day. And it doesn't define my business future on what I did today. Maybe today it dipped down a little bit more than I planned. Maybe I had a little bit of negative responses to my messages that day, but my why is bigger than those negative things. Okay, so that's some stuff that you'll get used to learning how to respond like that to stuff. And the good thing is you'll get faster at it. For me, it took a little bit. Sometimes maybe some negative messages, some things like that, it would throw off my whole day, it felt like. And now it's like, okay, that's kind of annoying. That's a little bit rude. I don't like that I haven't signed anybody yet, but I've gotten faster at responding well to the situation instead of allowing it to dictate the rest of my day. Because if you allow that to happen, that's when it overflows into when you could have been having a really good potential conversation with somebody who was going to join and run with you, but you allowed some messed up stuff to kind of throw things off. So we've just got to get fast. You'll learn to get a little faster and a little quicker on the turnaround of it. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so if we know, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I don't want to lose track because we only got so much time. Okay, so I'm gonna look at what everybody was saying. So Bree is at an 8. Let's see here. And a 9 and a 5, and a 7 and an 8. Okay. I'm just throwing out some of the numbers here. Now here's something that I want you all to know. As a human being, as a daughter of God, as someone who is perfectly made, okay? As a person, you are always more than a 10. The way that you view the business, that will fluctuate depending on the season of life that you're in and all of that. But when you know that your worth and your value as a human being, as a person, is always higher than a 10, then you look at, okay, if I'm called to more, and more for all of us looks completely different. But if I'm called to more and I know I'm supposed to be, my more includes what I'm teaching my girls, what I'm pouring into my team with, what I'm doing for others, all that kind of stuff. If I know that that's more, then even on the days that I see I feel about like this in my business. Guess what fills in the gap? When we give that more. So like I was saying, like you encourage people, you do that kind of stuff. And this is actually I'm gonna keep going into like the next thing that I was gonna talk about. So how do we start building our confidence up? So you need to know your goal. So what I mean by goal is income, your rank, and what it will mean to you. So if you can sum it up, and maybe you're just wanting to say like, all I have right now, Hilary, is like the number in my head, then share that in the chat. You can share in the chat what it would mean to you. If you don't want to say the rank or number, just say, this is what I'm working towards for my family. Whatever you feel is your goal, like the first thing that comes to your mind, I want you guys to share that in the chat. And I'm going to say mine while I'm waiting on y'all's. So mine right now is double diamond. And why it's double diamond is because that's going to be a little above what my husband brings home monthly. Okay, so for me, options is my key word there. Okay, so when it comes to, hold on just a second. I'm trying to find the comp plan. Okay. So here's the thing. If you don't know yet how much each rank averages on income, I want you guys to have this in mind, okay? So when it comes to hitting Ruby, your average is going to look like anywhere between it's going to be averaging about $500, okay, for Ruby. Then your next is going to be Emerald. So that would be about 1,000 to, honestly, if you're doing really good, it could be up to like 1,500 if you're bringing in good volume. And then I would say Diamond is where we hit what we call full-time money. Okay, they say that you can write your own checks, like you can print your own money. Okay, that's because a lot of amazing things open up. And I'm pretty sure Morghan explained that more in depth with our last one, where we were going over the things that were announced at conference. But just a lot of things open up when you hit Diamond. So it's about $2,000 on commissions and things like that, and just all the things. But we know right now that you can also get a $15,000 bonus when you go Diamond. And then, so it just goes up from there. So different amounts. If you, let's see, right. So triple diamond, that means that Morghan can move out, that she's able to do the things that right now she's like, no, like, when is this gonna happen? Right? So for me, I'm like, yes, here's my thing. I have a ton of family that lives in California. If I want to buy flight tickets for my entire family and not go into debt doing it or use a credit card, that's the type of options I want. I want to be able to say, yes, we're going to go see family and not have to stress and worry about it. I want options. I want my husband to have the option to have his own business or to take off a few days a week and not stress. We just want options. That's our thing. So now you know like a handful of the ranks, stuff like that. You even can reflect a little bit on your why. If you've shared your why with your leader or anything, you can think about that. Sorry, I'm going back to my notes. So the thing is that if you know your goal, I'm just going to keep flowing with it. If you're still thinking about it, just keep thinking about it as I explain some more things. But the thing is that if you don't know your goal yet, I'm going to challenge you guys tonight to write that down, to write down what your rank goal is, the income that you're needing, and then what that will mean for you guys. So the thing is, Christina, I'm going to, point yours out, okay? So Christina's wanting to go diamond, and that's because she's going to get a house for her family, okay? That's what they're doing. They're going to completely change their lives. Let's see. Oh, I love that. You want to help your parents. I love that. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing, y'all. Do you know what it's going to take to do that? Do you have a plan yet? Do you know more than a one-on-one? Because you guys can do one-on-ones with Morghan and I all the time, but do you know it when you're alone? Do you know what that actually looks like? Now, do you have to go learn the whole compensation plan? No. But the basics are, we get paid for enrollments. We don't get paid for pretty posts. We don't get paid for studying everything on the website. We don't get paid for any of that. We get paid to sell products, and we get paid to enroll teammates and help them succeed. So do you know what it's going to take? So say if your goal was $500, okay, that was like the first amount of income. Do you know that there's multiple ways to earn that? Do you know that you could earn it by either you could go Ruby, so that averages 500, or you can help a few people who join your team earn a shopping spree, and you can make that in cash. There's so many ways that you could sell samples. There's so many different ways of stuff. So if you haven't yet, so you're going to write down your goal tonight, what it means to you. And then you're going to write down, so what does it take to get that? You need to know what the BV is. Like that's the heavy stuff, okay? What is the amount that will equal those dollars for you? So Diamond, just throwing it out there, I look at that number every day. So it is 8,000, but you want to shoot for 10. So that is what it's going to take to go Diamond. Now, the beautiful part is that 10,000, that 8 to 10,000, that can be split between you and some teammates. And what that means is actually you helping other people get started on some life-changing products and a life-changing business. View it like that, and you guys will be successful because you're looking at other people more than you look at you. Okay, so look at it like that you're helping some people out. Okay, so if you haven't yet, which you already should, but if you haven't yet, get your chart out, write your why on top of your chart. Know every time that you look at your chart and you look at that volume and you look at the income coming with that chart. So if your chart, if you can ask me or Morgan what chart you need to pull out, okay? Like where you're going and stuff like that. You can get some one-on-one help with us with that if you need to look at it again. But get your chart out, write down your current volume, and that's going to be your starting place. And then you're going to know, okay, I need to get here by such and such date. Morgan and I can help you guys one-on-one with this part, but there are ways that you can break this down to make it very simple in attaining the goals that you have and hitting those whys, moving out of your house, moving out of the apartment and getting a new home, being able to help your family out with things, totally changing, becoming financially independent and paying off your car. If you write down the number of what it's going to take to pay off your car, you can also write down the number of triple threats. That just means 3 awesome products that you combo together. But you can write down how many packs you need to sell to get that kind of BV if it were all left up to you. Because at the end of the day, it is your business, okay? And it is up to you. So here we go. So you're gonna have that written down, and then you're gonna know the non-negotiables. It's not just that they're non-negotiable, it's that your why is worth checking those things off the list every day. That your purpose is found in so much more, and this, you guys hitting these things is just gonna end up opening all that up. So the thing is if you have struggled at all in the areas of what would bring in the enrollments and what would bring in, teammates and sealing the deal with customers and things like that, I would suggest to you that part of it could be a confidence thing. And maybe you're super confident. Like maybe I have convinced you now. Like I've convinced you that you should believe in the company. You should believe in the products because look at all the results of all these people. Look at me and Morgan being crazy and believing with you. Like you should believe, right? Okay, poof. Now you believe. Now you're confident. Now you have your roadmap. You have that played out. But here's what will hold you back. You can know how many sales you need to get. You can know how much BV you need. You can have your why written everywhere all over your house. But if your mindset sucks, it's going to suck. That will translate into how you talk to people. They may think, oh, well, this girl seems like super confident on social media, whatever, but like I can tell she's not really in this thing. Maybe it took her a while to like respond to me and, stuff like that. Like they can kind of feel things when your mindset isn't in the best place. And one of the biggest places that shows up at is how consistent you are. And people can tell. And there could be some people who have been following you who maybe you have been following up with and maybe you forgot to follow up with them because you don't have some discipline going on up here. And so you didn't seal the deal with some of those people, and then that hindered you making that progress from your starting point to your finish line. Okay. So now Morgan's going to talk about mindset, because you have to have both. You got to have confidence in the things, and then you have to have the mindset to be able to do the stuff from a healthy place. So Morgan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okie doke. Y'all can hear me good? Yes? Okay, awesome. So mindset. Mindset is so key, and I think this is one of the main things that people really struggle with this business, because we're not trained in life basically to have a good mindset. If you go to a basic 9-to-5 job, they want you to come in, clock in, work, clock out, go home. They don't really care how you feel. They really don't. And you'll hear from a lot of leaders say this business is like a mindset with a paycheck. Your mind has to be right. And I know that sounds like so crazy of like, well, like I want all these things, like I'm being positive. Like, no, like that's not having the right mindset, because like Hilary just said, if your mindset is not right, we can give you all the wording for things, but people know when things are off and you're not being true to yourself, you're not having that right mindset, you're not truly excited. People can sense that. So if you're getting like frustrated about things and ultimately you're just not filling your cup up, like people know that. So to start off, I want to give y'all a scripture. And this is one that is really, I just realized I don't have dyslexia, but maybe I do, because I wrote it backwards on my notes. But the scripture has really like, what's it called? Stuck out to me recently and just keeps like coming up. But it's Mark 11:24, and it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." I just want to let that soak in. Are you even asking God for what you want? Or are you hoping and wishing and trying and wanting and just going through the motions? Or are you truly saying, Lord, this is what I want? And you don't have to feel like greedy asking for him about that stuff. It's not like out of greed. He wants to know our passion for things, what we want to do. But also, at least for me, like I explain, this is what I want, but this is what I can do with that. And explain to him why you're wanting these things. Because if you don't ask, yes, God can read our mind. I know that. But if you don't ask, he can't give. And I heard from Steve Harvey, he said, you have not because you ask not. Same thing. Are you even asking him anything about your goals, about achieving them, about asking him, like, show me the way, guide me to the right people, lead the right people to me help people. We're in a helping type of business. And again, this is new for a lot of people, but you have to be open to learn. Excuse me. Again, like Hilary said, she came from a place of a lot of social media background. I came from a place of not even knowing this existed. But no matter what, we both had to learn. This is a different thing. So no matter your background of like, well, I'm not like this person and they've kind of done something similar, who cares? This is a whole different ball game. And so we all join and we all have to be open to learn. I'd rather someone come in completely clueless and be able to learn than someone like so stuck in their ways of like, no, like I know what I'm doing and like it doesn't work like that. You can't have like an engineer come in and be a heart surgeon, and because they know how to work on a car, they know how to work on a body. It's not the same thing. But ultimately you have to ask him and be open for receiving that, because a few words that I hate are trying, hoping, wishing, wanting, working on it. Like those words just make me cringe, because I'm like, you can't like try to do something. Like for me personally, I'm a very black and white person. You're either doing it or you're not. You're not like trying to make something happen. You're going to make it happen or you're not going to do the work to make it happen. And it was funny because also at conference, I don't remember, Hilary, you might remember, but someone had an exercise and they said, like, take your phone and put it down, like on, you know, who it was. Denise Walsh. Yeah. She took something, but she said, like, put your phone down on whatever in front of you. And they're like, now hold your hands together and don't move them. Or yeah, hold your hands up. And she's like, now try to pick up your phone without moving your hands. Your phone's not going to move. You can try to like force field your phone to like lift up and it's not going to work. You're either going to pick up your phone or you're not going to pick up your phone. There is no, you know what I mean? So I know, like I've told my girls in the past, like they'll be like, well, like I'm wanting diamond. And it's like, no, you either go after it or you're not going to hit it. You have to be so clear with your mind because your mind is the strongest thing in the world. You have to be so focused with your mind on what you want and say, I'm going to do this come hell or high water, like it's happening. So you also have to know with this that, and I think this is very different with this type of business, that you have to know that you're worthy of these things. Because you can look at these numbers of the income and the amounts of average per month and be like, you'll hear a lot of leaders say also, like, I thought unicorns get that. Like one in a bazillion made that type of money. And we look at it sometimes and we say, well, I want that. That can do so much for me. But do you feel like you're worthy enough to have that type of money? Because if you don't feel that, and know that you're capable and worthy and you can have that responsibility, you can want it and wish it all you want, but it's not going to happen. You have to know that. And that takes a lot of discipline. And honestly, put a 1 in there if you felt that, because I felt that so many times. I've wanted something so bad, but in my mind, I didn't really think, I don't think I'm worthy enough to even have that or have the responsibility to have that or be able to look this certain way to have that type of money. But that's not what the Bible says, and that's not what God wants. God wants all of us to have the abundance of things, and that is not greedy. And it's so funny because at church today we talked about greed, but that's not a greedy thing. Having abundance and joy and all the things God has wanted us to have, that's not a greedy thing. Greed is what you do with it. And I think that's a money mindset thing, is that rich people and a lot of money don't make, like, it's not a bad thing. Bad people do bad things with money, and so we have this stigma of rich people are greedy and they're bad. But you have a lot of people, like our CEO, that at conference donated $100,000 to kids worldwide to feed them. I don't think that's greedy, you know? So it's really what you do with your money and having that mindset of like, yes, there's a stigma about things, and you might feel like, well, maybe I don't want to be rich because I don't want to have that stigma of people think I'm greedy. People think I have too much, you know, I just need to be, you know, the average of everyone else. We weren't made to be average. God did not make us to be average. So get out of your head that, well, I don't want to be a part of that like greedy rich people stuff. And maybe God has put you here to be that person that can actually change that. And someone can look at you one day and be like, wow, they have a lot of money, but they do so much good with it. You could be that person. Maybe that's why you're here. Maybe that's a big thing of why you're here, is to prove to people money isn't bad. It's what people do with it that make people think that money is a bad thing. Because ultimately, the money's all his anyways. It's like tithing. And I don't know why I'm getting like on this like preachy thing, maybe because it's Sunday. But it's like tithing. You're not like giving God money. God doesn't need money if you don't know. You're giving it back to him because it's his anyways. He's giving you the money to be responsible with it and to serve him in a greater good. So you have to feel worthy of that you can have that responsibility to do those types of things. So on that with mindset, I want y'all to put in the chat, daily? It can be minutes, hours, whatever. How much personal development do you do daily to feed your mind? That can be a sermon, that could be a podcast, that could be a training, that could be an inspirational video, that could be motivation something, an audiobook, reading a book, anything that can fill your soul. Put that in the chat. How much do you do that daily? And be honest. And if you don't do it, that's fine. Say you don't. Because we'll change that. But also with mindset and being so specific with your goals and everything, people follow people who know where they're going. And if you aren't so laser focused, thank you for being honest. If you aren't so laser focused on where you're going, why do you expect people should join your team? And I know I just got really preachy and now I'm like coming at you, but it's true. If you aren't so focused and clear on where you're going and what you want and what your goals are, and so like timeline of this is what is happening, this is where I'm going, this is what I need, this is how I'm treating my business, and you don't treat it seriously, why do you expect other people to treat you seriously and want to follow you? You know what I mean? It's like getting in a car and saying, I'm driving to California. Hop in, we're going to California. And they're like, you know where you're going? And you're like, oh no, I don't have a map. I'm just, gonna wing it. I'd hop out of the car and be like, heck no, I don't know where we're gonna end up. No, you have to know where you're going. And you have to be so laser focused on things so people know where you're going. That's why shouting out your promotions and what you're doing, people want to know that, because also too, people have like real FOMO. And if they know that you're going to achieve something and you're bringing all these girls along, there's going to be girls watching that and be like, well, dang, I want to be a part of that. So personal development, it's so key. And thank y'all so much for being honest in there. Because we do have to amp it up. I know, and I'm like being completely honest because I was like this. Self-development is not an income producing activity. I always saw it at that. That doesn't make me money. Me listening to something and taking the time does not make me the cash. And that is just the red in me. However, I know if I don't do the self-development and I'm not filling my cup, no matter what I say to people, they're going to know my vibe, and that's not going to make me money because they're not going to order or join my team. Mm-hmm. So don't look at it so much of like, well, like I need to be talking to people to enroll. But if your mind's not right, who cares what you're saying to them, because they really know your intentions. And it's crazy how people can sense that, but they can sense your excitement. They can tell when you're being short and you just want to hurry and get their order in. People like get standoffish with that. You need to come in and be intentional and helpful and being there for them and having your mind right that we're in the business to help people. Mm-hmm. What else? Again, I'm trying to look at my notes. So again, like Hilary said as well, you are a business owner. If you didn't know that, welcome. You are a business owner. Our taxes are like that. So if you're like, I don't really think so. Well, you are. By the IRS, you are a tax owner. You're a business owner. I don't know why I just said that. So with that, you have to think like a business owner. And I know some of y'all are probably thinking like, whoa there, what did I sign up for? I'm not about that. Like, cut me out. Don't think of it as a scary thing, but ultimately you have to treat this very seriously. No matter how much you want to make, it's not like, well, I don't want to make that much, so I don't have to make it, like, treat it seriously. Yes, you do. Because I'm not your boss. Hillary's not your boss. Your enroller is not your boss. We are not there every day to be like, hey, Susie, did you No, yes. Do we check up on y'all and be like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? We do that because we love y'all. We do that because we want y'all to be our friend. Like, I want y'all to be my friend. I'm y'all's friend. We do that because we care. We don't do that because we're being annoying. We're not a boss. We're your enroller. We're here to help you. And that's why we call y'all our team, because we are doing this together. But with being a business owner, and this is your promotion, it's your promotion. And I want y'all to look at it as no matter what, no matter who is on my team or not on my team, working or not working, BV or no BV, I'm going to make it happen. And not to scare y'all, but there's been people that have promoted to diamond with 1 or 2 people working. Now, is that ideal? Are we in this to do this alone? Absolutely not. No. But if you want it, do it. You can't wait on people. And this is just like a side thing, but I love the TV show Gossip Girl. And Blair Waldorf said, I will never put power in other people's hands. And I'm not trying to get like weird, like stupid TV shows, even though it's not stupid. I love that show. But do not let people have the power to run your business. It's your business. Don't wait on people. Well, this person's not working and they're not doing this. So find someone that wants it like bad enough, that is willing to work harder. It's your business. You get to write your paycheck. That is what is such a blessing in this business. And people make it a curse because they're like, well, I put in all this work and I'm not getting paid for it. One, if you really are, you should be getting paid for it. But also 2, this is a business. It takes time to develop. You have to mold it. It takes time. Average businesses, if you go and open like a boutique, it would take you 7 to 9 years to start seeing a profit. And you'd still be probably in a ton of debt for getting loans to even open it. This is no risk at all. You cannot lose money. But you have to take the ownership and know that this is your promotion, and no matter what, you're going to make it happen. What else? Okay. Also 2, I have like 2 more things. With your mindset too, what Hilary was saying on finding people that inspire you. Find people that inspire you, but again, do not get distracted, because it is very easy to sit and look at everyone else's cute little stories and their posts and all this cuteness and stuff on Instagram. And 1, either you're wasting time, or 2, you're gonna be like, well, I don't look like them. I'm never gonna look like them. Them is successful. I'm not gonna be successful. You're gonna get that in your head. No matter what. You're probably thinking right now, that'll never be me. It will be you. We have all been there. We have all looked at someone and said, I don't look like them. I don't have a page like them. I'm not going to be them. Stop it. The best thing about this business is that we are all different. Men, women, ages, career, no career, mom, not a mom, student, not a student, different backgrounds all over the world, all over this country, different languages. Like, there's everyone. So there is no cookie cutter mold of this business of like who's successful and who is not. So stay in your lane, be so focused. Yes, have a few people that inspire you and you can grow through, because if you are trying to go through social media, it can be a little bit different. So follow those people to get inspiration for your feed, or different story ideas, or how to have your page looking nice, stuff like that. That is great. But I wouldn't follow more than like 5 people. I would keep it very minimal, because you can get through their stuff quick if you're watching it and you won't get distracted. And you can stay focused. What else? Yeah. So with that, do not get distracted looking at other people. Get your head down, keep your mind right, and get to work. It's honestly that simple. And again, you'll hear from a lot of leaders that get to the top and they're like, well, what'd you do all this time? And they're like, I put my head down. I didn't look at anyone else. I didn't focus on Sally Sue over here doing this. That's great, but I got my own stuff to worry about. And I think we can get caught up sometimes just cheering on everyone else and look at everyone else and getting down on ourselves because we're not moving that fast. And it's like, well, so crazy. This just came to me. At the last Summer Olympics, I don't know, it might not have been the last, but whatever. It was a time when Michael Phelps was swimming, and he was just swimming, you know, and there was a person in the next lane in second place trying to pass Michael Phelps. And there were so many pictures that like press got, and it was Michael Phelps swimming and his head was down and he was just swimming. and the guy next to him was swimming like this, watching him. And you know why that guy didn't beat Michael Phelps? Because he was looking at Michael Phelps. He wasn't staying in his lane and putting his head down and focusing. He was too busy looking at him. And too busy looking at him didn't get him anywhere. It didn't get him to win. So when I mean get your head down and focus and keep your mind right and stop focusing on everyone else, because everyone else isn't going to make you money. Everyone else is not going to get you your goals. Everyone else is not going to get you to where your dreams want to be. You are. And we're going to be here cheering you on, but we can't do the work for you. We can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink it. We can give you everything, but we can't make you do it. So again, your why has to be so big and you have to be so focused and your mind has to be so right that you are worthy of this, and just do it. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. So some of the practical side with this, because we got like 9 minutes. So this, take notes. Journaling. I know it sounds stupid. I thought it was kind of stupid at first, but it is so key and it does help your mind by actually doing these things. So I have it on my team page too. This is the I am like affirmation thing. Oh my gosh, I just canceled out that page. It was a thing I got on Pinterest, and it's just literally, come on, lines. And it says, I am blank, I am blank, I am blank. And I do this every morning and I fill in the blank. I put, I am strong. I am confident. I'm a top leader. I'm in the top 150. I am VIP. I am inspiring. I am a great leader. Sometimes do I believe it? Probably not in that moment. But as I'm writing it and I keep telling myself, you're going to start believing it. So that is so key. That is on my team page. So under business album. So y'all can find that. Y'all gotta be doing that. And it's like, so there's like 10 blanks, like so simple. Trying to find my notes again. So as I keep talking to, I was gonna say this for the end but we are like on a time crunch. I want all of y'all to put 5 I ams in the chat. I am blank 5 times. And it can be specifically about the business. It could be other stuff. I don't really care. I am something. You got 5 of them. Also 2, speaking on self-development, I'm going to put in the chat, like once y'all are done doing that, but I'm going to put in some awesome podcasts to listen to. And some of them are kind of in your face. Some of them are like fluffy. Some of them are like strategic and tips. Some of them are sermons. You kind of got a little bit of everything just for people that are getting started and don't really know like where to go. These are some good ones that you can kind of like test out and see. I love all those. To see kind of, you know, who do you like? Because I know that we all have different, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. We all like kind of different, you know, people and stuff. What else? I kind of already said all that. Okay, I thought I actually had more, but I kind of already said all that. So yes, I'm strong, confident, outgoing, a VIP leader, a good mom, hardworking, a loving wife, a good friend, trustworthy. Ashley's getting straight A's this semester. A diamond, a good mom, focused, consistent, motivated, confident, made for more, ready, diamond. Yes, I love all those. So y'all need to be doing this every morning. I don't even care if you're like, this is so stupid. I don't know why I'm doing this. Do it, because one day you're going to wake up and be like, I love journaling. And your mind's going to be so right. And you're going to just love it. Again, I thought it was kind of like crazy, but if people at the top that are making bank do it, I'm just going to do it because they said to do it. So just do it. It really does feed your soul, and it does really get your mind trained to start thinking these things. Okay. So I am going to put in the chat a few podcast, and some of these as well are actually people like in It Works. The Why the Hell Not with Jade Hooper. Jade Hooper is our top upline, so definitely go to hers. She is amazing. And then the Ashley Mayfield podcast, we're not on her team, but she is a fireball. If you really need someone in your face, that is your girl. She's amazing, and she will really just get you going. And then some of the other, and then Pam Souter, she is our CNO, is that right? Or CFO? FNCNO, yeah. So yeah, Pam Souter is amazing, and she does do a lot of like interviews with other leaders on other teams. So she's amazing as well. Yes, Ashley's awesome. And some of those other ones are really good too. And then I'm also going to put in a few audiobooks. You can get on books like on an iPhone, or you can get Audible through Amazon. So those are some really good ones too. The Girl Wash Your Face, I'm sure most of y'all know Rachel Hollis. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, that's an awesome one. Really about like money mindset that I was saying earlier. With Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within, and Developing the Leadership Within You are really good leadership books. So as you're going to your team and you want to build more on leadership, those are really good. And then You Are a Badass. That one's kind of like in your face, but overcoming things, empowerment type vibe book. But those are all audiobooks. I'm sure you can get like a real copy as well. So overall, I know we only have a few more minutes, but again, your mind is the most powerful thing in your whole body. It really is. You can train your mind to think, do whatever you want. So you have to take care of your mind. So fill yourself up, do the things, because again, if your mind isn't right, you can do all the checklists in the world and it's not going to get you anywhere. It really, really won't. Maybe for a little bit, you might sign one here and there, but it's not going to last. You have to have your mind right, because especially this business has so many ups and downs. It's a business. Some days you're going to be like, yes, I rule the world. And other days it's like, can I just crawl in a hole and like not come out for days? It's days like that, and that's okay. But you have to have that mindset of, okay, today I'm really down, but tomorrow we're going to get better and it's going to be okay. And just constantly feeding yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. In order to inspire other people and be there for other people, you got to take care of yourself first. And that's not a selfish thing. It's like on a plane when they're telling you all the safety stuff. It's like, put your oxygen mask on first before you do the next guy, because you can't help the next guy if you're passed out. You have to take care of yourself first before you can help someone else. And that is how we do it, by having a good mind. So I can't believe I got through all of that. Do y'all have any questions that you're going to think of? We literally have like 2 to 3 minutes left. Or if Hilary, you had anything else to say? Out of breath. I need some water.
I feel like that was really good, because like that's the thing. Like she was saying in the beginning of it, or what she was saying and that I said too in the beginning, was like, we have completely different backgrounds on stuff. But if I'm not disciplined in my mindset and I'm not showing up confident from that type of place, then like I don't enroll. Same thing for Morghan. It doesn't matter that we've been in the business longer than y'all. Like we have to do the same basic things every day too. Like that's the thing. You never know too what this just like randomly came to me, but you never know what maybe a potential like sideline sister, like that's like what Morghan and I are. That just means you didn't enroll each other or anything, but you're sidelines to each other on one big team. You never know what one of those sisters is going to be going through. You never know what somebody in the future that you're enrolling, what they're going to be going through. And so sometimes the self-development may feel kind of like redundant at times. Like you're like, okay, I get it. I'm motivated. Here we go. And maybe you're somebody who naturally is like in that type of place, but you never know how that's going to kick in later in your leadership. Definitely if you're wanting to get a full-time income, you're going to have a decent sized team. Maybe you don't see yourself going all the way to ambassador or something, but if you're trying to go even emerald, like, I mean, you become a leader as soon as you're in the business to me, but soon as you're like emerald and diamond, you have some people and they have stuff going on. So what you're listening to right now and stuff like that, it may not apply, but you just never know when that's going to help get somebody up out of their ditch. And then you inevitably will be hitting your goal because you're helping them hit theirs from some stuff that you're like, oh, on this podcast, I heard this, or in this book, I know how to help them get past that. because you're not going to relate to every single person on your team. They're going to go through life experiences that you have zero knowledge about. But podcasts, books, things like that, it's going to equip you in your leadership to pour into others at a different time. So that was like the only other thing I thought of was like, oh yeah, again, how it's not just about us, how you look out at your people. And honestly, like Morgan and I, we are not like, so again, like we're not on each other's teams, like when it comes to working on volume together, but there are things that she has learned and that I have learned separately, that because we hooked up as accountability partners, that there's things that she has learned during her personal development time that have helped me a ton. And then there's things that I'm knowledgeable about that I can share with her that has helped her a ton. And the thing is I believe, since the heart of our company is generosity, like that's truly the foundation of our company, is to be super generous. When we're generous towards each other, and then towards, you know, even if I don't benefit off this teammate, I mean, really, even when you're generous like that and you give and give to a sister like that, it's going to show up in your business. Because for me, like, I know I can depend on Morgan, and I'm like, okay, what is going on with this, and this? And she helps me and I help her, and it shows up. So that's like really the last thing that I would say, like about the personal development stuff, was just like that.
Yeah, because for sure, because like you might not relate to everyone, but again, something could be happening in their life that you can just send them encouraging words and be honest with them. Be like, you know what? I can't relate in that aspect, but I feel for you just as a person. And I just want to, you know, encourage you with this. Like there was a podcast I listened to, and it was about a girl that has done businesses like this and other things and trying to figure out, you know, balance of some sort between her and her two girls. And again, I don't have kids, but it was so funny because she came out with that podcast a few days later. Hilary was just like, I'm trying to figure out balance and find a new normal. And I was like, girl, I don't know where to start with that, but I'm going to send you something and maybe that will help you. So, yeah, really just, again, we are in a helping business and serving people and just being there for people and uplifting. And so again, like you can't, you know, lift people up if you're not already up. You have to, you know, get your mind right and everything. So for sure, for sure. Do y'all have any last minute questions before the family call? Anyone can think of anything? I can put in the chat, or maybe, are you able to unmute them, Hilary? Yes. Caitlin. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. What is a family call?
Okay, so if you go to Mark Pentecost page on Facebook, I'll also like share it in our I'll share it and send it to you. But if you just go to his Facebook page, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central, so like right now or in a few minutes, it's just him. He's our CEO, and then a couple of the corporate people that get on there. And just if there's any announcements or sharing anything, stuff like that, they do it again every Sunday night. So that's why we have hours at 8 to kind of talk about things, and then y'all can watch.
Okay.
So it's just a live video. It's not like a Zoom like this, so they can't like see you or anything. But that
Okay.
is that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think tonight they're going to talk about the bonuses. So if you want to learn more about that, I would definitely tune into it.
For sure. And our new products and stuff. So I don't know. Has it started already?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okie doke. Well, if y'all don't have any more questions, we will let y'all go and go watch the family call. And yeah, that's all I got.
I'm going to stop the recording.